Are you ready? 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 Hey, don't forget this nice animation comes from Bonnie. Bonnie be doing her thing, baby. Bonnie Rose. Bonnie Rose. Check out the animation, the AI or whatever you want to call it. We love it. We love it. And we love it. All right. Now we're going to get straight to this interview. Don't forget, if y'all watching the replay, y'all can always skip past that and enjoy the music, enjoy the animation, or y'all can get straight to the show. Now, it's a different take on this, what Janae's interview. This is courtesy of alchemizing energy. Alchemizing energy with Janae. Let's see what's going on with her. Let's go.
You know what I have going on? I don't know if you can hear. Go
I
ahead.
can hear you now.
You hear an echo?
Yeah, no, you kind of clicked out and then came back in, I guess.
Can you hear me now?
Hmm.
Awesome. Okay. All the technical difficulties dealt with so far.
Thank you.
Um, what happened?
I'm gonna let you on up.
Where did our special guest go? I wanted to greet her for there she is. First, I want to greet you, say thank you so much for being here. And I'm also dual streaming on the sit down, which I will be bringing the beautiful Janae over there. I call her a hero. She is my hero. She tells me that I'm her hero. She's my hero. It's the cycle. So I want to say peace to her, peace to Genesis here in Alchemizing Energy family. Please go over, come, you can go in between her channel and my channel. Please subscribe. Peace to Lady Kier, powerful sister doing a women's retreat. Peace to Nyla and to the entire audience, to the darkest minds of the light. I'm just almost finished. Assalamu alaikum, hotep, namaste.
The people that are here with different levels of support, different levels. Like I said, we have Coach K. She actually she's hosting a retreat coming up for women in North Carolina, and that retreat is actually a survivors retreat to help women with trauma, and it's actually in North Carolina. I think that close to where you are. So I wanted to bring that to you. Yeah. So everything that's coming here is going to be like, man.
Hey, Queen.
Good morning, Queen. How are
Beautiful.
you?
I am fine, beautiful Queen.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, girl. With this weather, I've been getting no sleep. No sleep. With this weather, I don't know if it's the weather. I didn't hear me say nothing about this weather in like feel like years, right? Boy. Ay. But this is I like this interview because it's a little bit, it covers a little sort of everything, and she talks about like different things in this particular interview, so it's really good. It's really good. So we're gonna check it out together, right? Then tonight it might be a little crazy tonight. I don't know. It might be a little crazy tonight. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna start this interview off. Well, already started. We're gonna continue, right? All right, don't forget, if you got something to say, just tell me to stop and I will stop it so you can say what you got to say. All right, let's go.
Just an offer of any help and support, counseling, guidance, all that.
I don't know why the audio is not sharing on my screen share. Is that so?
Well, we'll have to figure that out because we got to get this going. Because
yeah, why don't you go ahead and let me drop out and I will
Okay.
come back. So you guys do the show. Janae, I'm gonna try to come back and I definitely want to talk.
One second, I'll be right back, please, and thank you. I apologize.
Well,
wrong,
right.
and then I'm not sure what happened.
Ways, and then still lay down with each other at the end of the night. So I think we have really warped and manipulated what love actually really is or looks like, and because we don't really know what love looks like anymore, especially if you don't have true love for self if you don't have knowledge of who you are, if you haven't really taken time to dive into what it is you truly need, in order to be your better self, in order to grow, in order to be happy. If you're not around people that are instilling those things in you, and of course, your father and your mother and the people that are your initial family are expected to be the people that sow those initial seeds in your life. So it's even worse for people who come from a pattern where, they didn't have that, so they're working with a
So
blank
here's
slate.
the question. So Janae, have you ever been in love? Like, and what was your first experience of love? And was that a toxic experience or was that a loving experience? Is your first love experience, was it toxic or was it wonderful?
Um, I believe everyone's first love is like a wonderful experience,
Not
but
everybody. We didn't
I
know what the hell we
haven't.
was doing.
I wouldn't say all my relationships I've been with or been in my life have been toxic. There was a lot of them that were toxic, and there were a lot of them that were very nice, and healthy. It's just my first love, I would say, it was pretty cool for what it was. I guess I was like in my adolescence and didn't know much about certain things, but it was cool.
Okay. Have you ever experienced any abuse early in life?
uh like like physical abuse.
Abuse, period.
Okay. So when it comes down to abuse and my early relationships, not my early relationships per no, I didn't really receive like verbal abuse, physical abuse, none of that in my early relationships. I would say when I became my early 20s, where I dwindled off and went to college and did all this and tried to explore, and was trying to explore without really knowing myself and knowing how to give myself that love that I needed. I would go off and venture off into these different relationships with men that didn't really treat me that I needed to be treated because I didn't really know who I was, so I didn't treat myself with that type of respect at that time.
So, okay, let's get to the bottom of that. Why didn't you treat yourself this way? Let me ask the question. Was your father in your life?
No, not at all. My father was one of the people I really wanted in my life, I would say. And I wanted to be a daddy's girl. My father, to me, showed more attention to the daughter that was more light skinned and more the wife's daughter. I would say that instead of showing more attention to me and my twin sister. And showing day, we were older, he had a conversation with my twin sister and her that he kind of like didn't give us attention because he wanted to take it out on my mother. So yeah, I just felt really neglected as a child and growing up into adulthood from my father. Even now, I call him on my birthday. So I
Wow.
I had to that
Okay.
And your father's Caribbean. You're Caribbean? Your mother's Caribbean, or your whole family's Caribbean?
generation is Caribbean. From Jamaica. Me and my twin sister, we were born in America though. So we was born in Brooklyn, New York, Flatbush. Mhm.
I
So
try to
yeah, I would
tell
say that
y'all.
my father, which is
She,
the first, should have been my first love, right? I didn't really have that relationship or connection with him, and I
see, this is what she talked more like in depth in this one. But I told y'all before, she from what this is just my opinion that it is sad, but a lot of young ladies, her complexion have to go through this because even when she was pregnant, she says, "How am I going to explain when she was pregnant from Sola?" She's like, "Yeah, when I get a new man, something like that." I'm not paraphrasing it. I'm just saying it. And they're gonna see me with a light child, and I'm like, "Well, how would you know your child was gonna be light, right?" So you could tell that's something she always imagined. If y'all understand
Right.
what I mean.
Colorism. Yeah.
right? So it was like I'm gonna get Solar regardless because I want a light baby, but you don't know which way the genes. So, I mean, luckily she got that light baby with the good hair that she wanted. You know, Solar was the one that was gonna give it. She knew Solar was gonna give her the baby that she wanted. But these are the pressures that we put on our kids and our youth, right?
Yeah,
So.
but you just never know. One of my sons is light and one of my sons is darker.
Mhm. And that's why I was saying how was she knew, but in her mind, and thank goodness, it came out. She came out beautiful. She came out beautiful, but you could tell this that started from within her, right? That's where her and Velvet, they're like Velvet. Oh man, she's the light skinned one. Like then her hair grows. Like I'm not saying that will be part of the jealousy. I'm not saying she is even jealous, but you could tell like she had to go through that when she was younger. Like
Yeah,
why
I can
I have to
identify
put
with
on
it.
this makeup on. I got to put these wigs on. I got to do this.
Hmm.
I got to do that. Now, because every style, majority of all the styles that Janae does, Velvet can do naturally.
Yes.
So that's why I say I'm glad. Even though I heard this before, like I'm trying to tell you, she is a she got that Brooklyn in her. People like, oh, she's that. Like, no, no, she is a New Yorker, right? She's a and from Brooklyn. Stop playing. You better not. That give you more credit than Jamaica. People don't understand that. Brooklyn holds more weight than Jamaica. I ain't saying New York. I said Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's true.
It holds way more weight. So you could be, hey, Jamaica all you want. And they go, where Brooklyn at? Be in Jamaica. Brooklyn, ah! Make one noise and then Jamaicans. I seen it done all the time. Right. But, oh, goodness. All right. So we're going to carry on. But I'm just letting you know, sometimes that plays on young girls' minds and it really leaves a stigma in their heart, when you're treated a certain way just because you're a couple of shades darker, you know? Like I said, I really didn't. I didn't watch the whole interview. I
That
glad
happened
you.
to me and my family, and just in different situations growing up. And with my skin tone, like I have a red skin tone, but I could be light one time, one moment, and I could be darker the next moment, so it just depends on what's going on with me or what's going on with the seasons and stuff like that. So I learned not to internalize that, and just to, know that that's about them and it don't have nothing to do with me.
I was just very, very upset about that. I would go through my entry in middle school crying about not being at my shows or showing up for me and my sister, to the point where I had to, in middle school, I took, and because every time I got on the phone with him, I would just cry, just, just cry because I wanted to for attention from him. So I guess this attention from men in a way that wasn't healthy for me. Like I was trying to fill a void.
Hmm.
Because of that, I was allowing men who neglect me, that me didn't give me what I needed, come into my life and stay in my life, because I thought that was normal. I thought that was okay. I thought that, supposed to be like that, I guess. But I had to learn how to go out and forgive my father for not being to truly heal from that.
Hello?
Yep. So I think that Oya can really speak to the Caribbean upbringing and how a lot of times with that upbringing, like about the cultural aspects. Oya?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, Trini. Well, I'm Trini. You're Jamaican, but I
Yeah,
know
I
that
want you to talk.
colorism. colorism is big. Like for instance, I'm no contact with my mother now, and I went no contact at 40, and I'm 43 now. And my own mother said to me that when I was born, I like a little black hairy monkey because she had me when she was 16, and up until then she only seen red babies, light babies. She said she didn't even know babies was born dark. So that gives you a mindset for other people watching what West Indian people deal with. I know some in the Latin culture that's strong. White Puerto Ricans, dark skin Puerto Ricans, Dominicana. Some people they don't even they be chocolate like us, girl, and be like, I'm white. So it's something that exists in these cultures, and what comes with it is neglect, emotional neglect. If you don't look the certain way, and I have this thing where I tell people growing up in a West Indian family is like being Italian. Everything you do is either for the family or against the family. And even down to how you look, your color, how your hair. Like for me, I heard, oh, you dogla, you know what I'm saying? Which is like, they were saying things to me that we don't, even in West Indians, we don't consider that to be a compliment. Being mixed is not a compliment, meaning I'm Indian and black mixed together. So in Trinidad, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? Because you're dark. The word is coolie. That's the word I was looking for. Coolie. They call me coolie because you're dark skinned, but you have wavy, smoothish hair. But really, what they're coolie in Trinidad is like saying the N word to a person. But they think it's cool because you're not full Indian, you're not full West Trinidadian, so you're coolie, you're mixed, you're mutt kind of thing. So there's us as women when we get to United States. I was born in Trinidad, and we're looking for love. Like I have a father that never came to the States, so he didn't think it. He didn't follow his children. Put it that way. He said, "Why would I come to the States when I live here? Because you have children. You have children that need you. So maybe you should sacrifice a little bit for your children." Whatever. The point is, once we get to the relationship part of our life, we have this mindset of what love looks like. And for us, we're on the side, like you said, you called your dad for your birthday. That's how it was for my mom. I was constantly trying to get that smile, that yes, that validation from her. And I realized I was never going to get it. And she was going to make me dance around for something she never had any intention of giving to me. Like my own mother said, I ain't really been fucking with you since she was like 8 years old.
Right. So I wanted to so Janae, getting back to you, I wanted to talk to you just even further about just your feelings. Like, okay, so you begin to get into these relationships with men. You begin to like search out a spiritual path, in college, by that time you had been in several relationships that were toxic, and then you find this group. So I want you to dive into that. So go into that.
Okay, so growing up, like you said, like I just been in relationship after relationship after relationship, and it wasn't the best in certain ways. When I went to college and came back home, I went to school, had a relationship. When I went to another school, other than like I went to Valdosta State University and came back from home because I couldn't really finish my years there because my financial aid was dropped. I went there for nursing, and then I then came back home and I started to study aesthetics, and I got my license in skincare. So after that, I started dating a man. He ended up, he was my high school crush, and it was really a wonderful relationship, and I put my all into it, and he ended up cheating on me, which devastated me, made me depressed, and like that hence started the spiral down in the relationship after the relationship. Honestly, but I did have some good ones also after that. So coming into carbonation now, after I left the church and I was depressed, and after I left a really toxic situation, I didn't know where to go or what to do. I just wanted to be free. And God was letting me know that the person that I really loved, I had to let him go. And that was very hard for me. I just felt like I couldn't really do it at the time. But with God who strengthened me, literally, I had to call upon the Holy Spirit and, go through my lessons so I can let him go finally, so I can go on.
Was there any domestic violence in that relationship?
No, that relationship, he just was, it was just no more trust. That's all it was with that relationship. I was very, very much in love with him. And I wanted to forgive him, but I couldn't trust him anymore because of what he did. He cheated on me with a multitude of women. And I had to look at his phone, which I never do, to see that, so that severed my trust a lot. And it was no domestic violence. There was no choking. There was no hitting. There was no, like, it was very much loving towards each other. That's why it caught me off guard. So, after that, leaving that relationship alone and going off into my own spiritual journey, into veganism and all this stuff, of course, his video comes up in the algorithm. And my sister is the one who actually introduced me to.
Anything you would like to say, Queen, for what you hear so far?
I just find it sad that, like when she was saying that she had a loving relationship, but he was cheating on her. It was like, you can be in such a loving relationship, and never suspect a thing, and then bam, you get hit and blindsided, you know. And I can truly understand, that the trust, you know, she had to have her heart broken. And I'm glad that she did go to God, because it does take a lot of cleansing, a lot of fasting. You got to break those soul ties and break those trauma bonds and all of that stuff with that person. So it's a lot that you have to go through, that healing.
Natureboy's videos, and he was talking about the archetype. He was talking about the Black woman that he needs or in his life, or the Black woman is God and everything like that. So after that, he started talking about nature and everything, and that's when I started finding God in nature. And that's when I started to follow carbonation and just became a fringe member, meaning a member that's like not inside the group, but follow the teachings. And then that's when I started to program myself in the carbonation laws and the ways of carbonation.
So your initial introduction into carbonation, were you more enamored with Nature Boy as a character, or did you also more see the other characters and begin to fall for them in a way?
I would say the other characters. When I saw Eligio Bishop, aka Nature Boy, I could see a presence and a spirit. At first, I thought I saw a presence spirit on him that wasn't like too kind. And it kind of scared me, but I liked the message, that he was producing, and the people around him were like angels to me. This was around the time that he was dating Yaya. So I used to listen to all of their messages. I was listening to Olmec, I was listening to Flo, and then Velvet came in like a week or two after. And it was just, I was listening to all the members, but Eligio, I wasn't really listening to him that much per se.
So so did you eventually start listening more to Solar's lip message, and that's why you were drawn to him, like because of how he delivered his messages? Is that how you ended up going there?
I liked Solar's messages at the time. I would say when I was in Thailand, just living out the knowledge in Thailand and doing whatever I was doing, I was listening to.
I'm sorry, I hate to like interrupt you, but look, Thailand, you go, girl.
Thank you, I appreciate
You
that.
know, that's something that says a lot about you right there. She was like going other places and learning like stuff and really doing it big, you know.
Absolutely. I was doing my best to follow in, the teachings and doing whatever my spirit told me to do to get more closer to God. So once you ask God, who are you? What am I? What is this? That's exactly what Eligio said to ask the universe. Who am I? What am I? What is this? What am I here to do? The universe or God talks back to you. So I was going on a journey of self-discovery in different countries in different lands. And for some reason, I was able to manifest going to Thailand with Tisha Khan. Tisha Khan was already there in Thailand. And because I was able to fast, I like to fast. Around this time, I fast all the time. So I believe in the power of fasting, prayer, and meditation. So I was fasting from carbs and, foods that didn't serve me, breads, rice, and just drinking pure water and spring water, eating healthy fruits and everything, vegetables, majority raw. And then I would pray and I would meditate on a better life for myself. And out of nowhere, like possibly a month later, Tisha Khan hits me up saying that she wants to bring me to Thailand with her and live out, our life there, just living the knowledge, like, cause Tisha Khan was also on the frequency, basically meaning in carbonation, she was listening to the teachings and living by the laws. So, I was able to manifest, go to Thailand, and I saw Solar's videos as well, as well as the other members. But I liked how Solar delivered things. And I also did one of his challenges, and I liked how he looked. Like that's when I saw Solar, I kind of had a crush on him. So it just all tied together, I believe.
So you eventually reach out to him, and then you guys begin to talk individually, one on one, and then that's what kind of brought you there. Did you leave from Thailand to go straight to him?
I would say that what happened around that time, I was talking to Tron. And around that time, the men was looking for wives and, wanting to, be more friendly with the people that's online and whatnot. So Tron and I, which is his name is Hu Kanum right now. We were, getting to know each other. I know back then I kind of wanted to get to know Solar more than I wanted to get to know Tron, but I just chose to just, stick with Tron because he was there first, I guess, and I didn't want to feel bad, so me and him got to know each other and everything like that. But then that went left, after a while, and that's when Meek came in and decided he wanted to travel across the world, so sold his car just to be with me in Thailand.
All right. So what was it that actually brought you finally to say, okay, I'm going to go to carbonation? Was it a person, or was it like, you know what, I believe in what y'all are doing and I just want to go there in general? Or was it that you were drawn there by a certain man and that you wanted to be their wife?
Well, for a while, I was following the teachings and listening to them. So I had my own mind of thinking like, oh, part of me was like, oh, I kind of want to, be with them, but I never truly was going to be with them because I liked to do my own thing. It wasn't until I met them in Atlanta, when I met them at Cecilia's Raw Reality, where I used to work, which is a raw vegan restaurant. I used to work there as a cashier, and they came in. The guys, I would say, the cult guys and Eligio Bishop came in, and after that we got back in communication again, and they invited me out to a party. I went to the party, and after that I was being convinced by Tron again and Solar to join the tribe or join the cult because they thought it was my purpose to join the cult. Yeah, so and that's what Solar does. He tells people's purpose through astrology, so looking at the natal birth chart and everything like that. So he basically was telling me it was a part of my purpose in life to be with them and be a part of a family or some kind of system. And I believed it. So at the time I had a ticket to Bali, Indonesia, booked already. I was gonna go to Bali, Indonesia, and embark on a spiritual journey and a path there, and be a yoga teacher, go to yoga school. But instead, I decided to go to Carbonation since they were already in Atlanta.
All right. So explain your first time in carbonation when you came upon there. Again, like was it like initially you came in there single and then got put with someone, or how'd that whole thing go?
Yeah, essentially, you come in there. Sometimes you come in there single. Sometimes you come in there already knowing who you want to be with. The first time I've ever been in combination, I came in there single, and I came in there just wanting to experience the whole carbonation experience with my soul family or soul tribe, or that's what I thought at the time. I thought it was my frequency family, and I thought we was all on the same frequency vibration and on this love vibe. So I was just like so excited, and oh my God, yeah, I've been watching them for years. I'm finally here. Hi, I'm the Terry, that kind of thing. And it was nice at first. It was very nice because they were like, sorry, they were my family, and it made me feel like really happy, to be with them. And then it started to go left. It started to.
Okay, so let's get into it. All right, now here we go. Let's explain the left. I mean, should we take a pause and like kind of get into the feelings of that first?
Put a break,
Okay.
pause, just 1 second, because I'm about to go check on my daughter again.
Okay, Coach K. Well, you know what? Not who wants to go. Let's discuss the lowering end of this that happened to her, because sounds like to me she met these people over time, and then they saw her to kind of hook her, line and sinker, and then now they bring her into a place, they love bomb her, and then things start to go awry. But I'm not sure whether it was a love bombing or where, So let's who wants
That's
to dive into
correct.
that?
You're saying the right thing. It was love bombing.
Well, what I got out of what she said was that it was really more of a psychological manipulation. And there was really no love involved. These people target people that they know are already kind of broken, um, and looking for something. Because again, already stated that her father was not there for her. She looked for him most of her life, and he was never around. And when he was, he did not treat her the way she deserved to be treated. Um, so her whole life, she's been looking for someone to take her in and make her feel loved. And one of the biggest things that narcissists um, and people who deal in psychological manipulation do is they try to fill those voids that they already know you need. Because the reality is, um, those people are on a journey. She's looking for something, and all those people, all those other women that came to them, they were looking for something. There was voids they were trying to fill. So they are, this frequency that they feel they're on is really people saying what manipulative narcissists say in any place, in any situation. Could be in your common church, could be the man that's you're married to in your household. At the end of the day, these people play on your mindset, and they play on the fact that you don't have any real support, because people with real healthy backgrounds and healthy family and support systems do not generally succumb to these type of situations, because they're not out looking for something to fill the void, because they already have those systems in place. They already have addressed whatever the issues are in their life that have caused them to go these various places. These type of traumas and things are able to happen because people haven't addressed their issues, because people haven't dealt with their past traumas. So you are easily manipulated, because again, we don't know what love looks like. And when we don't take the time to actually love on ourselves and take the time to actually heal from our traumas, it is easy for people to manipulate those weaknesses, no matter how much you think you're covering up those things. The reality is, most people who have been manipulated, those people probably knew you've been manipulated, and they still manipulated you. They knew that you come from a heartbreaking background. background. They knew that you had been abused or used before. They knew those things. You probably told them out your own mouth what happened to you.
Yeah, that's the biggest mistake that us women make is we meet a person, we meet a guy.
You said it so eloquently, so clearly, so directly. And I say
Yeah.
that as someone who grew up in the Dr. York cult and as someone who watched Carbonation and was like, oh, I want to go there. That looks great. And then saw a few things and was like, okay, that's actually not great. And this is abuse.
Yeah.
So we and we go from place to place looking for, like you say, this love, this trying to fill this void. And it's very true. When you get a coach or a good therapist and you talk to them about relationship, I remember asking my therapist, so when I'm dating, do I tell them what I've been through so they know how to handle me? And I was emphatically told no, because human nature says that you could tell a guy, yeah, my ex-husband used to beat me up, call me names, control the money. And he may think then just like saying your food is nasty is not that bad because, well, you dealt with all that other stuff. That's how it was put to me, that
She is absolutely correct. And I try to tell people that all the time. You cannot stop telling your business. People that tell the truth. It's not like I'm telling you, but sometimes you don't know the intentions of the next person. So I'm not going
yes,
to give
that's
you
so
that.
true.
Mm-hmm. And then, or they try to outdo that. Well, if he hit you this way, I'm gonna
Right.
hit you harder, right? Because
Yes. What is that? Somebody will tell you, oh, I won't treat you like they will. No, you're going to treat me worse.
but the men are still in competition with other men. That's why. Even though they don't even know the man, but they're still in they're still in competition. Like whatever he did, oh, I'm in competition. I gotta do it worse. So then it doesn't even come about the woman no more. It still become about the men. So who gonna be labeled as who did her the worst, right?
Just the eggplant swinging situation.
Right. Now the bad part about it is if you was a good man, they don't have competition for that. Right? I ain't doing that shit. Let that next nigga do
Exactly. Look at you upside your head.
that shit. I was that's that he's a simp or he's the this. Now when it comes down to hurting and breaking somebody's heart, is I gotta do it the worst. But when it comes down to treating somebody good or even better, then shit, you better call Ty, you better call him back then, right? uh-huh. But that's the way it is. Uh-huh. But so far, we have to do a little commentary. So I have to stop a little here and there. What do you think about what she's saying so far? Because remember, this interviews are sort of kind of different from the other one. She's talking a little bit more, and I like that. I love when Oya is there because being that Oya grew up in the cult, she brings a different perspective, right? And she was in the cult much longer than Janae. Hmm?
Okay. That's why she can give the perspective and she knows all about it.
All right, we will. Oh, dang, we ain't time for a music break yet. And don't forget, guys, if you're liking what you're seeing, put some twos up in here. Press two. Press some twos up. What my bush babies? Press some twos up in here. If y'all like what y'all seeing, put some twos up in here. Let me know.
There's some twos in this house. There's some twos in this house.
And you be stopping. As soon as I get on the beat, you want to stop. This is supposed to have been done. Hey, Larry, this was supposed to have been done. Hey, Miss Black Athena, how you doing, sweetie? Thank you. So this is tonight might be a crazy night. It might be crazy. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But it ain't gonna be my stream. But I won't be screaming something tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I like the fact that, like I said, she's talking a little bit different. And like I said, my girl Oya, like you're not gonna play with her because remember she was in there since she was four. Since she was four. So you ain't gonna play with her. And I think she has more of a perspective than Janae has her own story. They all of them have their own story, but she has more of a perspective of how it really is done because she doesn't remember she lost her brother, she lost family member, she was in a car accident. I don't know. I gotta find that one when she told us. Remember, she did an interview with us too. Then she did an interview there. Hey Vaughn, how you doing? Right? Smile. Right? So there's a lot of things, it's a lot of components that's there. And you know, we're gonna talk about um well when she come back on here, she's busy because she's busy gonna get her life together, done got her life together and a lot of other stuff. So I like the fact that like when Janae is talking to her, yes, Oya knows exactly what you're saying, right? She knows exactly what you're saying. My sweet wild child. Oh, tonight, don't forget about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I gotta see if Chrissy is ready. Her and her cousin is ready to do the interview with the sweet daddy one. So we gave them a little extra time because
Okay.
they started remembering more stuff. So we had to postpone it. Right.
Oh, how lovely.
Right. So let's go.
That human nature says that they'll do other things and thinking and rationalize in their own mind, a good person, mind you, a intending person, mind you, in their own mind, well, this is not as bad as what you told me you went through.
Right. Right.
I appreciate everything you said.
Yeah.
It's
And it's a big factor. We have to these things.
Be careful what we tell people about ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
before we meet them.
Mm-hmm.
Did you tell them at all about yourself, like any trauma that you've been through before you actually joined the group,
What oh
Janae?
back in the day. Sorry.
Not that I know of. I don't remember telling them anything like trauma or anything, but they did ask for my natal birth chart. And something I did remember while I was changing my daughter's diaper, she being there with her reminded me that initially, right, when I was talking to Tron, he wanted me to be his wife and everything like that, and I had to tell him many of times that I don't want to be his wife because I wasn't attracted to him like that. I just seen him as a friend. So that's when I went in there single. That's why it was like put on to me later. He was put on to me later. Like they basically put us together because our charts or synchronicity or whatever it matched a little bit. We was compatible. So Eligio put us together because being in the cult, you supposed to kind of be with someone at that time. So
So
yeah,
how did that go? Like, was it like how long did that last, and what made it go? I mean, sure, it went south because it wasn't meant to be. I like chart stuff, but nope.
yeah, didn't go pretty far at all because I didn't want to be with him. You know, I let it be known when I went into the cult, like probably some time or some days after or whatever. I don't know. That I liked Solar. I liked Courtney, the father of my child.
So explain how that situation manifested itself and how it went.
Well, at the time, okay, so when I first initially joined the cult, the men and the women weren't supposed to talk to each other. Um, so when I came in and I started talking to the men like normal people, like just talking, the women got upset, and some people went ahead and was letting me know that we don't do that here and all this other stuff. So when I went to Eligio about it, he held a meeting and he basically told everyone, let's stop being weird. Everybody can talk to each other now. So he basically changed the rule when I got there. And so we was all conversing, all of us was communicating, and we would all hang out with each other. The men and the women was just talking at night now that everybody can correlate and be in the same room. And I let it be known that I liked Solar, you know. And after that, Solar took upon himself to have a private meeting with me, him, and Zoka, because he was with Zoka at the time. And because the cult was polygamous, it was allowed to have multiple wives there. But when we had that whole meeting, me, him, and Zoka, you know, seeing if it could work and everything, he's gonna ask. Excuse me if I say Baba G, because that was his name at the time. Alio's name was Baba G. So Solar went to Eligio the next day, and Eligio basically was like, no, she can't be with Solar. You know, there's none of that here. So it didn't.
So you think it was like, no, only one person could have all the wives? Like it was almost like if Solar like had two wives, it would like he'd be almost equivalent to him. Do you think it was like a thing like that? Like I
Yeah,
can't have another
another.
person dragging around their balls up in this, you know, only one big ball niggas up in here. You know what I'm saying? Can't have two, you know.
Yeah. At the time, I was very in tune with my intuition and very in tune with just hearing thoughts around that time because, like I said, I was traveling everywhere in nature, and also I would meditate and pray all the time. I would meditate in the forest in the middle of a river on a rock for hours. You know, I was very in tune. So when that moment happened, when me and Lihio and Zoka and Solar had that meeting, and Velvet at the time, because Velvet was there as well. When we all had that meeting that we wanted to be together. When Eligio said no, I heard and I felt something. Something told me that he was only saying no to save me on the side. Basically, like he was saving me from being in that relationship because he wanted to have me to himself. And I looked at him and I was just like, whoa, why am I hearing this? Because, you know, I didn't really see his character online like that. Like, you know, the manipulation, abuse that he was doing and everything like that. I was on and off looking at the tribe. But when I felt that and I heard that in my being, because I knew God wouldn't tell me anything different, I was just like, what is that about? Because he's with Velvet. I don't see why would he want me to himself. You know when you can feel something and hear something right on somebody else, you can feel and hear their thoughts. That's what I heard with the
Yeah, yeah. With fasting too, you will do that. You fast long enough. Yeah. Were you allowed to actually meditate and fast when you were in carbonation?
Oh no, they meditation was considered like walking or doing things. He said everything was meditation at that time. He was like, you know, so no one would really isolate themselves and just sit there and go into stillness meditation and get one in tune with themselves. They were always doing something, and so we weren't allowed to meditate. And if we were to pray, it's like basically praying to him. After a while, he was like, "People pray to me because I'm God." That's what he would say.
What did you think when you heard that? Were you like, did anything intuitively come into your mind? Like, hell no. Or were
Uh,
you like, okay, sounds like probably so sleep deprived and so talked out? Because I heard he would like have y'all like up all night and like kind of keep y'all. And that's another form of actual brainwashing when you keep the person up, sleep deprived, food deprived. That's how you get into the person's subconscious mind by neglecting them of like what their needs are, and then they begin to basically just become robotic, you know, to
yeah,
where they just do what bend to your will.
yeah, that was definitely a part of carbonation. I would say, like being sleep deprived, being starved, you know, all that stuff. Like we wouldn't eat until he ate. And sometimes he would just not eat that day or wouldn't eat at all, and he would tell us to eat if we wanted to. But nah, it was definitely a part. Oh my goodness, I apologize, y'all. One more second. I'm truly.
It's okay because we're great. We got a panel here of professionals, so everything that you say we can actually expound on. And we're gonna take care of your little munchkin. So, all right, so we're gonna expound on it. Let's talk about it. Who wants to go in on that subject? Nyla, we haven't heard from you, Nyla. Oh, I think she tried to hit the button and then took herself out the thing. So who wants to talk about that? Go ahead, Coach K.
Um, yeah, definitely. It sounds like all the classic signs that of a true cult leader. That is very interesting. when Nature Boy or that carbonation initially started getting really popular, I kind of briefly heard about them, but I've never like really looked into them. I just know what everybody kind of knows in the general. So to hear the story directly from someone like yourself, Miss Janae's, very eye opening to actually, because especially in our culture, as Black people, we don't have a whole lot of codes, that type of thing. So it's interesting to me, especially as a person from a a therapist and a psychological mind state and point of view. It's just interesting to see how these things have begun to kind of invade our culture and see how we're actually reacting to these things that aren't really our norms.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Nyla, I wanted to also ask you, Nyla, you ever would you want to like ask any questions or make any statements real quick?
Right now I'm just listening, but a lot of things that she's saying is I'm resonating with, and I wouldn't say triggers.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the process of how
I think your mic go out.
sounded.
Yeah, it's breaking up a little
Yeah,
bit.
she's in and out.
Your mic is going out, Nyla. So we're gonna like move further into the story. Let's kind of
Monica,
go
may I make
deeper
a
into the
statement
story.
real quick if it's all right?
Go
I
ahead.
just I just hear Janae apologizing for being a present mom, and I'm not gonna try to tell you what to do. I'm not gonna, you've had enough finger wagging to probably last you a lifetime, but you don't have to apologize for being a present mom, love.
I
You
appreciate that.
never have to apologize for being about your child and your children and yourself. You never owe anyone explanation why you need to go do what you need to do and honor the choices that you have made.
Right.
Grateful, grateful, grateful. I'm thankful, goddess.
You can just say, "I'm going to be back. Excuse me for leaving." That's polite and shows etiquette. But apologies, never that for being a present mother.
Yeah.
Hey, Asheo. So
I say,
let's get deeper into this story. So basically, fast forward, uh, you end up with actually being his wife with Zoka for a small period of time, correct?
Like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did that go? Were you okay? Because you guys ended up like it didn't work out. Y'all ended up doing the whole Dr. Bishop thing. What was that experience like?
Um. Okay. So with that, I would say, hmm, Stolar really wanted it more than Zoka. I would say that. I feel like Zoka just went along with it because of the mission that what carbonation was trying to represent or to do for the world was just to bring back,
Welcome, Momo.
polygamy as a normal thing, to promote nation building, okay, and tribal living. So I believe that she was talked into it by Solar and Eligio. And Eligio would definitely tell her, like, you got to get over your demons to, you know, to be, you got to get over your demons, so you can, example for the community. So that polygamy was something that she struggled with, and but tried her best to accept at the time because she wanted to accept it. And she basically told me about her traumas and triggers, about what I believe she had said on live before, to the public, that she didn't really get along with women like that, or trust women like that because of certain things that happened to her with, I think her sisters or aunts or something like that. So with her family. So let me say that first, that she wasn't as completely comfortable with it, but she was definitely talked into it. I appreciate that. Laws of unity. I appreciate that. Thank you. And then so when I got into the relationship with them, whew, goodness, there was a lot of favoritism I'll say that. It was a lot of favoritism and babying Zoka because she was it was apparent that she was kind of upset with certain things and she didn't, want to be, the girl with the less attention on her. So Solar will overcompensate her with attention and affection and love and everything like that.
How'd that make you feel?
It made me feel neglected. It made me feel like upset in a
But
way
what if she
because it's
knocked
like
up then?
I've been in polygamous relationships before, and I'm just like, that's just not the healthiest way to handle polygamy.
Who, Zoka
If she
or
can't handle
her?
the
Janae.
situation, maybe we shouldn't do it at all. That's what I was thinking at first, but then I was just like, nah, like let me keep going. Let me warm up to her. Like maybe she needs to just get to know me, and develop a sisterhood bond,
What if
but
she
that
knocked
didn't go
up?
well because he would try to have intercourse with us
Who
and
should
with us at the same time.
Zoka.
And let's just say that, she didn't like that to the point where she kind of wanted to fight at one point. Because and it was just this whole debacle. So it wasn't healthy. I'll say that it wasn't healthy. We got torn apart because, of certain things. I was very upset with the whole situation because I just felt like, Zoka, because she wasn't wanting so much attention, any type of
Yeah, because
attention
it's
that I
all
would get,
women.
she would get mad and go, isolate
It's all
herself
women
and,
now. Why not?
stay to herself. And I didn't like that. So I would try to talk to her. Hey, are you okay? We got this, but she was definitely not liking it. And now looking inside
Zoka
of
was
that,
like what 17? How old was Zoka? Like 17, 18, something like that?
I don't believe she was that young when she entered. She was like 19, 20 when she entered carbonation. So I believe around the time she was probably 20 years old. 20 years old.
Okay. I was thinking maybe it's because she was young.
Yeah, she was young and but she just didn't want to share her man, I believe. And she was forced to because of the knowledge, because of what we were supposed to stand by in carbonation, So I would say that really took a toll on her. And I tried to, show her that it's just not that bad. Like we can do this together. But she kind of didn't want to like develop that bond because then that would make her have to face doing polygamy because then she wouldn't have nothing else to say about it because she actually liked me. So anyway, long story short, there was a lot of jealousy involved. Even I caught myself being upset because I'm just like, why are you giving her so much babying? Like, and I'm out here just, in my little corner, like, just,
Kind
trying
of having to deal with it yourself, but she's getting like all the attention, right? So
I felt like my dad want all over again, and
right, exactly.
it felt like I wasn't I had to just accept that he would give her more attention and I'll be okay with it because I was more mature. I could handle it, I thought, but at the same breath, I was like, I don't really like this. I shouldn't be able to be just because I'm more mature and more, accepting of certain things doesn't mean I should accept being neglected.
So here's the question: Was Solar the same person now that he was then?
That is a great question. I didn't even think about it. No, I don't know. I don't know. Back then he was very, very, very immature. I would say very immature, but now he's just immature. He's not. He's so far. So I don't know. I don't know how to even answer that. He's been having the same mannerisms, I believe.
Hey,
But
Lisa.
back then
Welcome.
he was like, I would say more immature.
He was more immature, okay, at the time, right?
Excuse me.
Wow. So okay, let's all right. We're gonna break out and just talk about that. Let's who wants to talk about that stuff? Who wants to go deep dive into that? I guess Coach K, it's on you. We lost.
Okay. Look, I was trying to just wait, let somebody else, speak, but um I was okay. So I was just trying to make sure I was following correctly because she did she say that she did end up with the guy named what's the other guy's name that initially she met?
Solar.
It was Tron at first, but she didn't like Tron. She ended up with
Okay.
Solar. That's the one she really wanted to be with.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it was forced
Solar.
into a polygynous relationship. And the woman that he was relationship with didn't want to do polygyny. She was a
Right.
little younger, and she probably never been in that type of relationship before, where Natiri had been experienced in that, so she understood how to that she you have to like with the women have to be a team.
That's what I
But
was getting ready to.
unfortunately, Zoka, she had no like ability to do that.
Right.
And
So
and Zoka is also very fiery. She's an Aries. She's a very fiery personality. Has it ever came into almost blows with you and Zoka? Did you guys almost fight at any point because of like that whole situation with Solar?
Like I said, there was a time during intercourse that she pushed me, and I was just like, "What's going on?" So,
I'm
like,
glad you could laugh about it now.
Wait a minute. Hold on now. So y'all getting it in, and she pushed what? She pushed you off of him? Like, no, nigga.
That's how that happens sometimes, sis.
yeah,
I've been there
You,
too.
you getting it in, and all of a sudden you just feel a shove. You can't even close your eyes because
That be you don't know until it happens, to be honest. And it just is when if you're a woman, you know how we are when we're in our bag, as they say. You might shove someone.
Oh my God, that sounds like
So,
a come off the news or something. Wow.
yeah,
so
I'm glad
Janae,
she can laugh about it now.
yeah. I definitely can laugh about.
so Janae, did you said that you eventually, well, I hopefully I heard this right, is that you kind of figured out later that that wasn't for you. Polygamy wasn't for you. You weren't comfortable with it.
No, she was. You're comfortable. Oh no, let me be quiet. I'm not
Polygamous
gonna answer you.
a long time. Yeah, I was a polygamous woman. I believed in the nation building. I believed that it was a purpose behind it, and I loved the sisterhood. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I loved the sister bonding because I'm a twin, so it's just like I know how to bond with women, and I love.
Mhm.
Are you bisexual at all? Like,
I would say I was. I'm not so bisexual. I wouldn't even put a title and a name on it. I just liked girls at the time. I was bisexual. Right now, I'm not so bisexual. Like I like men, and I want a family. I like men.
would you ever do polygamy again?
No, 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 I wouldn't.
Why?
I just wouldn't. I don't see the point of it. I to do it for me. I've already done it times, and I'm actually a one man, one woman type of woman now, and I like it like that. So I want to build with that one man, and he builds with me, and we have our family, our empire, whatever that is. And I think that's a more traditional way in some other cultures. Like, this cultures only deal with one man and one woman, and yeah, I dig that.
For that one, Coach, you got a question?
I just wanted.
Queen. It's like Miss Kiki, being everybody talking about me personally, I cannot do polygamy. I I believe that people believe in it because it's a patriotic system. If it wasn't a patriotic system, then I don't think women would believe in it the way they say they do. They just get conned to thinking it's the right thing to do and this is the way to do, or they're born into it as it's a culture. But if it was a thing that if it wasn't a patriotic system, then in that case I could have people could be it would go both ways and it wouldn't have to be a thing. Well, this is polymary, whatever you call it. It wouldn't be well. This is for what women do. No, it would just be polygamy. Like period. Like people could pick who they want. See, that's nasty, right? So they make sure just pick for the men, right? Would you do it, Lakeisha?
What?
Polygamy.
Um, it depends. If I could have my freedom and then also have the choice to be with to have my own husbands, then probably yeah.
No, you sharing your husband.
Oh, me sharing. Well, I did that with Enoch, so pretty much. I mean, I not
I mean, so
now,
you
but
was polygamous.
yeah.
Shoot, I couldn't,
Hmm.
girl. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Can you do
But
it?
you know
I'm
what?
not gonna be
But you
able
know
to do
what?
it.
It
I said
wasn't
me.
really. It wasn't really. I don't want to say by choice, but it was something that we kind of developed because we had like closed relationship, open relationship, all kind of relationships. But the thing
Hmm.
was, I couldn't watch him be intimate with the other female. I would have to leave and go upstairs to my home.
I
I
wouldn't care if you
couldn't.
was
I
in the
couldn't watch
whole
it.
town. I wouldn't care if you was in the whole town plus two. I couldn't do it. Not gonna be able to do it. I'm not waiting my turn.
And
Please
then for me, I had
forgive
to be
me,
in
but
control.
I'm stingy. I'm
Yeah, I
selfish
had to be in
and I
control.
can't
So
fight
if
it.
I wasn't in control, then I didn't want it. So once,
I mean, for some people, but some people it's okay. Some people it's okay. You know, but if we're in a patriotic system, so it works for the man. No, it ain't gonna be. No, I don't do when it's my turn or it's your night. There's no, 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 no. Whatever I'm in the feeling now, damn it, shit. Right, right.
you know what? Like I remember getting into a physical fight with um his ex girl, well, the girl that he was dating at the moment, because she wanted us to move, and she said he told her he was getting ready to buy us a house. And at that time, I did not want my family to know about my bedroom business. And so, even though my family had would come by and they would be like, "Why that girl look just like you? This is not the wife that he's married to now. This is another female that he had gotten that looks like me." And so they was like, "Y'all just so crazy." But they already knew how our relationship had been, all
Mm,
that time. So they didn't really set us. They knew that he was supportive and with me, and that's all they
mm,
truly cared about.
stop it.
He took care of
Mm-mm.
me.
I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I'd rather be alone, as they say, hitting that wall. I'll hit that wall, but I'll paint. That'd be the cutest looking wall I've ever crashed into after I finish decorating it.
I found out
I,
in the end
I
though
decorate that
that
wall
I
so
wasn't
good.
about that life. I found
Huh?
out in the end I wasn't about that life. I am greedy, I'm selfish, and I want what I want. The only reason why that transpired was because of, other circumstances. So
No, I mean
yeah.
everybody has their reasons. There's nothing wrong with it. With me, the real reason why I can't do it has nothing to do with me being selfish and when I want it. It's because it's bad enough I have to put my life into your hands. I can't put my life into your hands and the next woman's hand because I don't know if she's a cheater, right? I'm not. My mind is really stuck on like STDs, right? It's bad enough. I have to sit up there and wonder what you're doing. Now I got to wonder what she's doing, and then the man that she's cheating, if she's a cheater, what's he's doing. So my one little life is being passed around. Is in
Right,
the hands of it's too many people.
right.
So the more wives you have, let's say they really want to scratch and they go out and cheat. Now they done gave it to everybody. And here you go minding your business and you trying to figure out now because he had all them wives. She wanted to get satisfied. She went and got her little quickie. And like that's my main reason. I can't put my life in all these people's hands and stuff. And then my other second reason is five women could take care of one man can't take care of five women. So if that one man gets sick, he got five women to take care of him. If then women get sick, he can't tell. So it's never an even slate. Ever, never even slate for the woman.
Nope.
Never. So they're my two reasons. If the woman gets sick, then what? Who gonna take care of her? And let's say the sister wives don't live together. Oh, leave it on the sister wives. No, the man supposed to take care of the women. Now two
And it
women
was
are sick
even
at the
so
same
tough
time. What he
that
gonna do?
after we broke up and the girl went her way, I went my way, he went his way, got married to someone, and the girl ended up moving around the corner from me, or I moved around the corner from her, but she got pregnant with twins and was going to not go through with the pregnancy, and I told her, keep the babies, I'll take care of them and raise them. So yeah.
So how's the twins?
I haven't seen her in a long time, but as far as I know, she and her kids are doing good.
But that's good. That's good. Usually the
Yeah.
polyamorous dudes be living. Yeah, that's the new thing, and they call it building. They call it building. Building nothing. They got to go ahead with that.
And
They
mind
call it
you, the
building.
only reason why I enter into that, well, it was already in my relationship, but is because he was a great provider. He had the income to provide that, and then he also was very active, with both of us. So it wasn't like, um, it wasn't. I didn't feel like I was getting cheated on any aspect.
And something that can take care of a lot of women too. They don't feel they being cheated. I'm cheated just to point. I'm cheated just to point of deserve being there, right? How the song go, I'll be number two unless I want to. But even who, I just want to discuss that because they was talking about that in the chat, and then they were talking about that on here, right? But remember, whatever floats your boat, whatever float your boat, because more and more women are going into it now. More women are being into what they call it building. I don't know what they building. The man is supposed to do the building, as they say, but all he's doing is sitting back and collecting the money while you doing you. So it's a whole new game. It's a whole new game now. You almost even if I did, I'm like, I am so I'm that person that it was mine is mine. Oh, like no, there ain't no hours. We got other things to
That's
share
why
with.
we had that fight.
No, 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 no.
Police department knew us by name. Ooh, that was crazy. I'll
Mm.
never have that kind of life again. I didn't. That was too much. It was too much. I lost too much, and it wasn't even worth it.
Now, baby, now I could reverse it. Now I could have you. And that's another story. But I will be the one in control. Let's go.
To yeah, chime in on that, on the polygamy thing. The reality is, in America we have gotten to a place with polygamy where most of us who do practice it, people who do practice it, are practicing it from a wrong point of view. When I have looked into people who do have successful polygamous relationships in situations, what I have learned, especially if you take it all the way back to Africa, with certain cultures and tribes that practice that, these things are women led, women facilitated.
Hello, thank you.
Women are generally the ones in charge of picking the
Tell it.
wives
Tell
and
it.
picking each other.
Brother husbands
So
are
that when
welcome.
you don't
Tell
come
it.
in with that
Right,
type of
right.
sisterhood is already there,
Tell
because
it,
the women
girl.
are dealing with each other first, and then we decide what we're going to do with the man. But in America, this has been turned into something that
Patriarchal system.
right,
The
right.
patriarchy,
The patriarchy has taken
The
over because
patriarchy.
they have
which
flipped the
is funded by women. Let's go ahead and keep that real. You don't have a patriarchy without some type of matriarchy.
right,
Women are.
right. So
Have they have to actually submit to the patriarchy in order for it to work. Yep.
right. But the reality is, in the really successful relationships with that, the man has submitted to the women. And he does what they need him to do in order to make the household successful, because they are the backbones, they are the side bones, they're doing all these different things, they're rearing the
Teach,
children.
coach, teach.
So in situations where it is polygamous, it's not necessarily that polygamy is bad. It's just that the people who are facilitating the situation are doing it
Right.
to be manipulative. They're disingenuous. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because if
And,
they were genuine about it, they would be sending y'all to go find the wives. They wouldn't even be looking for the women or recruiting women. You know what I'm saying? Because
Because it would
that
be based on need and reason for that. Like why do we need more? Do we need more children right now? And even the thing of having more children,
exactly,
there's a
there's a
plan
purpose
in
for
mind. I mean, do we need a doctor in the family? Because that's
right,
going to determine what kind of woman you even gonna bring in the
right.
household.
Everybody
Because we're
serves a
trying to
purpose.
everyone because we're thinking generations ahead to make sure this goes the way it needs to go.
And another
Right.
thing, the whole sexual thing by bringing you guys in a bed together, that's I would believe that would be unheard of. Okay, most polygynous relationships that work correctly, each person has their space, their time. You
Hmm.
would give the one woman their time with you. You give another woman their time with you. You don't mesh it in because now you're
Absolutely.
confusing the whole situation. So I just wanted to address that's why that whole thing was faulty to begin with.
Yeah,
Right. But
I
you
And
have
from
to
my
think like,
understanding, and my Nature Boy didn't allow you guys to have actual what we would consider lesbian relationships, which again a lot of us do not know the history of what we call lesbian relationships. Again, do not necessarily or actually include sex at all. It's the nature of the depth of the sisterhood. That is
Mhm.
what actual lesbianism comes from. It has nothing to do with women sleeping with each other.
Mhm.
So it's like this idea that I could see when certain women came in, like Star, who had natural lesbian, as you say, awareness, meaning I'm here for my sister.
mm,
I'm protective of her. I care about her well being. That was not allowed. So it makes sense that you would have been pushed in that situation to be intimate with both of them at the same time, considering how Eligio or Nature Boy actually ran his organization, cult/cult.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think somebody might have called or something like that. So
Yeah.
she probably could call.
I'm, I'm here.
Are people calling you, or is that what it is?
No,
You
it's not.
okay, all right. So let's go further into that.
Mhm.
So how does the relationship end finally with you guys, and then you move on to eventually get brought into Nature Boy's fold?
How did that end? It ended abruptly. I remember also going to Eligio one time and just talking to him about certain things with the relationship because he was the guru that you go to him for everything. He was God or the the caretaker, whatever, the therapist, anything. So he would just encourage people to go to him for advice for with their relationships. So I went ahead and asked him about certain things. I told him about certain things, and he was just basically saying, "See, I told you for you, you know, you need to be with me, all these things." And I'm just like, I don't know about the be with you thing, but I see what you're saying. Like I see what you're saying. I was telling him I see what he's saying. So eventually something happened. I don't remember what happened.
Did you leave after you had to leave with Zoka, or is that like after you were with Nature Boy?
Huh?
Did you leave the group after that relationship dissolved with you and the Solar, or was that after you were with Nature Boy?
No, that was much later, when I left. Much later. So I had got with Nature Boy, and he he wanted me to be one of his wives or whatever like that. I believe around the time. Excuse me if I'm like trying to remember because so much has happened since then. Even though it was just at 2020, this particular happening was at 2020, but he wanted me to be one of his wives or whatever. Um, and he made me his wife afterwards or something like that. And we went to Hawaii, got arrested, went to California, and at California he was showing me favoritism, but at the time Zoka wasn't having it because I guess she was just upset because I had a conversation with Zoka. This was around the first time I ever apologized to her. She recalled the conversation I had with her, telling her that I was apologetic because I was in love with Solar, and even though we was split up and I'm not supposed to be thinking about him, I still dream about him. And I went to her and talked to her as a woman to woman because I'm just like, I know that's somebody you're with, or there's somebody you're pregnant with, because we have found out she was pregnant by him at the time, and that's when you know I was just like, no, I'm not dealing with him at all. Like that's her man at the point, but I still would think about him. I would still have feelings for him. And I told her, yeah, I see that. I still have feelings for him and I want to let you know. And I kind of was trying to get advice from her because I didn't know how to deal with my emotions. So she recalled that incident that me and her had that conversation. And because Nature Boy was showing me favoritism, she went ahead and told him that, well, she still wants to be with Soul she still did have dreams about him and stuff like that. So that kind of put a damper in how Nature Boy saw me and everything like that. But I didn't really care because I wanted to be with Sola. Like that's the thing. But I wasn't going to put myself in that again because first of all, it wasn't allowed, and secondly, that she was pregnant. So
Right.
at the time, I didn't do with my emotions and feelings. So I desperately did want to be with him, but it wasn't being allowed. The polygamy wasn't being allowed. She didn't like the polygamy at all. So
Right. So you were with Nature Boy, but she was still trying to put a damper even on that. She was kind of
like I with Nature Boy per se too. I was just like, sometimes he would just separate the men from a women and you would just be by yourself, but still like he would have a chance at you whenever he wants, that type of energy. That's why I think it was around the time. But because around that time, I believe, what's her name? Velvet was coming back. So when Velvet comes back, no one's with Nature Boy. No one can be with Nature Boy, it was okay with me because I really didn't care, more or less. I didn't want to be with him.
right.
We were all forced to be with him because that's what he wanted. But when Velvet comes back, or say she's coming back, he literally pushes everyone to the side. You're not with me anymore. I keep my daughter. This is for my daughter. And basically, gets with Velvet and be monogamous.
So explain your relationship with Velvet. Like you guys were friends, right? At first you started off as friends, correct?
I kind of
well, we weren't going to get too deep into that because I know that that's a very touchy subject,
It's touchy because I kind of spoke about it last night on a different panel.
Yeah.
With certain people, and it didn't do well with her when I just spoke. So I,
Well, that's the reason why I wanted to get into it because I'm like, I want to just make a statement about that because.
What statement do you want to make? Because I don't really feel like
I'm gonna say this. Is that right now because it's so high emotions, it's like you guys have those babies for the rest of your life and they're always going to be brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? And I think that time heals all wounds. I think that right now cooler heads must prevail, you guys just had babies, postpartum as it could be in play. Like there's a lot of things that happen when you have a baby, and emotions and stuff like that. And so I think that there probably, just based on what I was hearing her say in her live, that there probably is a chance for you two to reconcile.
I didn't watch her live. I didn't know what she said. So I didn't want to get mad or upset or anything and get triggered or impulsive. So I just chose not to listen to anything that she said.
Yeah. Well, it was a lot of tears. I think that she felt hurt, but sometimes like it's it's good to know that a person feels hurt because you understand that there is some emotion there and some feelings there. So I just I think at some point one day I think that you guys should like when a little bit, let some time go past, let some healing go on, and probably try to sit down and talk, what I'm saying, one day. That's what I think. And I know it sounds, because let me tell you something, I've been in the same situation. I'm a mother that, listen, my daughter, my child's father was with another woman and she made sure she had a baby right after mine. And it was like a whole thing, but she did it purposely because she wanted to, it was crazy. But, eventually as time went on, my daughter's 5, what I'm saying? And now like we're cordial with each other, but it took about 5 years. And then we eventually was able to sit in the same room with each other.
It's important that she peace first though. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. It's just important that you keep your peace first because you got to provide a peaceful, calm mind for the baby that you're raising.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully it does happen that way, but if it doesn't, it doesn't always work out that way. And I think we get kind of brainwashed to of having to have relationships for children. I mean, that's just my opinion,
I agree.
So
I agree.
put your peace first.
Yeah, I wasn't saying y'all should become BFFs. just at least be able to sit in the same room with each other and not kill each other. So, but let's get deeper into it. Past that situation, let's talk about. Okay, so you eventually. Okay, go ahead.
Or you go on like I said, I'm always one for healing and growth. It's just like I said on the panel last night. I'm gonna say it now. Like I feel like I can't even get myself to say things. And that's why I just chose not to say nothing. I'll just keep it that way. I honestly felt as if I apologized for certain things to her. And I'm willing to take accountability a lot of times in my life. Um, when my pregnancy was exposed, I didn't like that. You know, I had no business of exposing anyone's pregnancy. So for that, I will publicly apologize to her for, because, excuse me, I was angry
Take your
and
time.
it's okay. I'm gonna keep going. You know, I was angry and upset, and I was 5 months pregnant at the time, so I was very impulsive and erratic with how I moved because I felt neglected again. Because around that time, Solar was neglecting me for her again. Once he found out she was pregnant, I was put to the side. So I want to publicly apologize for that. I am apologetic for that. I apologize to Velvet for exposing her pregnancy. Um, and that's what I'm gonna have accountability for. That's what I'm gonna say that I've done wrong to her. If she's not allowed, if she can't do the same thing and apologize and take accountability or recognize that certain things she's did to hurt me, then how can there be growth and healing? You know what I'm saying? So I want to just say that and just put that out there. Like she didn't deserve that. And I was wrong for that. So
Well, that whole thing is a very touchy subject because and I really,
go on. We can go on.
yeah, it's a touchy subject because at the end of the day, we also got to hold for certain. We got to hold the male in the situation accountable as well. You know.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like what? That's not even. I thought that was already understood.
Right.
He was wrong about the whole thing, but I don't want to get into it because it's too tough. It's still something that is emotional for me, so I'm just.
It's emotional for both of you guys. Trust me, you guys are. She's over here crying online, and it's very touchy. So
I can appreciate Janae's micro expression in that moment. I'm just gonna keep it real. And like you said, we can move forward.
anyway, let's go further. Okay, let's go into it. So you left the group, okay, and you ended up doing Bigo on your birthday with TKO Capone, right? So what led up to you leaving the group and then ending up on that PK with TKO Capone? What was the catalyst to that?
Okay, so I left the group in 2020 when they voted me out, and that was supposed to be a test or whatever of my strength to want to be still a part of the tribe. But I didn't take it as that. I thought I was being humiliated. I was very humiliated when they all voted me out because they said that Eligio egged on this whole meeting that me having feelings for Solar was weak, and they didn't want weakness in the tribe, in the cult. So I just was voted out, and I tried so hard to deny the feelings I had for him because I didn't want to seem like I was weak. I wanted to stay in the knowledge. I wanted to prove I can stay on the mission and not think about Solar and everything like that. So that was weird. So I was voted out. I was voted off the island, and I ended up going to Atlanta.
Well, hold on. I just want to stop there. What was it that made you feel so deeply about Solar? Like you just said he was immature. You just got pushed off. Y'all was getting it in. You get pushed off of him. It don't sound like a fun time. I'm like magnetic about him. Was it the sex, or like was he knocking it down, or like what was it that made you like so into him like this?
I thought he was very intelligent. He had the gift of gab. I thought he was just very smart. I liked how he looked. He was attractive, but the most thing that I would say attracted me to him was the obsession I had over the twin flame dynamic. I thought that for some reason, I thought that he was my twin flame. And because I was so bent on completing a mission and a purpose here on earth, I believe that twin flames come together to complete their mission on earth together. So I thought I was supposed to get with him to complete whatever I had to go complete. And around that time, that was a spiritual awakening. That's when twin flame.
Well, technically, you did complete the mission because you had your little munchkin, your Poogie bear.
I guess that was the mission, right? I guess so. I guess so.
Yes, it is. That was it. That baby was meant to come onto this earth.
Yeah, she definitely.
So I just want to say that at the end of the day, just know that the mission is complete. You know.
Yeah, so that's what I guess attracted me to him. And what was the other question? There was something else you told me, asking me. You was telling me, what was the question?
Well, I was asking you, what was it that was such a big deal about Solar? Like, what was it about him that made you so drawn to him? But you said the twin flame.
About Solar, honestly, but I because he is a part of the story, I'll expand on it. But the that was it. That was just the obsession of the twin flame thing, the dynamic that I thought he was. I thought he was my twin flame, so I just wanted to be with my twin flame. And I thought that being with him would help in my journey in some type of way, shape, or form. I didn't know he was a producer at the time. I didn't know that he was into music until I got there and saw him producing music. And I was just like, oh, well, that's cool. I'm a singer. He's a producer. We can do music. That's what, and I loved singing. So I felt like my purpose in life to do music. So it just made sense to me as well when I found out he was a producer and everything of that nature. That was another thing that helped me stay in carbonation. I liked the music and I really wanted to be a part of the music, but Alikio wouldn't let the women really, express in that way sometimes because, he wanted the women with him when I was there. But, Joga got a chance to do music because she was with Solar. And yeah, so.
So you leave, you and then it's your birthday. Well,
Okay. So for my birthday, this was the time I was not in carbonation at all. For around my birthday, which was January 14th, I believe that I was about to go to TKO's. I went to TKO's place because he wanted me to be a part of his PK. And this PK, what it is a battle between two influencers on Bigo, which is an app. So on the Bigo app, he was battling against Natureboy. And they was making this big, huge thing like flyers and, all this stuff. So, since me and TKO was already in contact, and me and him was cool, like we were friendly. Me and TKO getting to know each other, but not on a overly friendly way, like a dating type of way. We were like cool, and we were like, seeing synchronicities. We kind of was like digging like how we were. We were compatible. I'll say that we were compatible.
Right. So, easy to talk to, like a easy to talk to person.
Like, around the time I was going through a lot. So it was nice to talk to somebody who just intuitively got it. Like he's a Pisces, so he would just have intuition. So we would talk and it would be nice. It would be nice to have another person to talk to. Text. I would say text and then talk on the phone as well. So anyway, he wanted me to join the PK and I kind of was like, oh, that sounds cool at first. But then I thought about how Natureboy would feel. So I told him like, I don't think I'm comfortable, but he, basically insured me and talked me into it. He was like, yeah, it's going to be okay. It's going to be nice and all this other stuff. So I was like, okay, sure, whatever. And I kind of just wanted to, at the time I was young and I kind of just wanted to experience a new state anyway. I like to travel. I'd never been to Las Vegas. And he was telling me for my birthday, he would take me around and show me Las Vegas and take me out and stuff. So I was like, sure, I would love to do that. he flew me out to his home and meet Armani, and there was another person there. I forgot her name. She came in later. But we did the PK. Nature Boy was not happy about it at all. I didn't really think that he was gonna care. Because I didn't think he liked me like that. So,
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something from the outside looking in that you probably wasn't aware of, right? So because of the way you left, right, and that there was like this whole like upheaval about you leaving, and then you've been gone, and I think there were some like lives that were done, lives that you had done. Then like what TKO Capone was like, well, I got a surprise for you for the PK,
mhm.
and then he brings you out like surprise, and then
Yeah,
here you come
as-
dressed up. So it
yeah,
he kind of used you in a certain way because Nature Boy and him were like little like rivals on he used you as like, oh hey, I got your girl. That's how it looked. Just FYI. So, but did you feel like used in that moment?
yeah, absolutely. I knew that it was for a clout chase. I knew it was for a stunt. And as it was inching into the moment, I just felt more and more like uncomfortable, like I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. But then, he did the signal, which was him asking me to take off his coat. That was the signal for me to get on the camera. And when I went there and took off his coat, got on the camera, if you could see, I was so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable because I was just like, oh my God.
What? Right, exactly.
Oh man, but
You didn't show it though.
no, not at all. I had to. It was like lights, camera, action. I had to be like, all right, well, facts. You know what I'm saying? That's right. I'm over here. And after I did it, it felt weird. But then people were just so amazed, and people were like happy, and they were like happy to see me with TKO and all this other stuff. It made me forget like how I felt about it initially. I'm like, okay, whatever. He'll be all right, whatever. But I told TKO before. I kind of didn't want to do it at first because I still at the time, I don't know why in my mind I still looked at Eligio as a teacher to me, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings anyway. But I didn't think he would get hurt like that
He
because
wasn't hurt.
I didn't know. I didn't know he liked me like that. I guess it was because I looked so beautiful in that video. He was
Yeah.
just that because he didn't expect me to look like that because when he met me, I had, a shaved head and, no makeup and all this stuff. So, yeah, that was the TKO Capone stunt situation. Yeah.
Right. So I believe that situation was the catalyst that led up to all the things that kind of even eventually led up to you leaving. That's why I wanted to bring that one up because then the TKO thing happened. Then I'm not going to mention the other person's name. Kind of brought you out of that situation because they felt like you were. I don't know what that person was thinking, but they got really upset about it. Like, no, you ain't gonna be with TKO. Even though probably didn't even know the back end of it.
Yeah, the back end of all that, I had to stop talking to TKO, even though like I really thought he was cool. We kind of entertained the idea of me possibly becoming a drip angel because that was the thing at the time. He had drip angels, whatever. I really didn't know what that meant. I thought that was me just being there and being a part of the sisterhood and dressing all nice, like they were saying, and everything like that. I didn't really know
that he was a
yeah.
PIMP.
Yeah.
I don't know what you know about me.
I mean, people would be like, how you not know, girl? Like, what are you talking about? I didn't know because I was sheltered from all that when growing up. I didn't really watch like, African American movies like growing up, like that. I didn't really know about PIMP culture. I didn't know about the Boys in the Hood and all this, all that, those shows and everything. Even Baby Boy, I can't really remember. I only glimpsed that Hustle and Flow, like those type of things. Like I didn't really watch. So
You came out of college and you were really on your journey, so you wasn't watching all that, like into all that stuff, right?
I'm into anime, and I still am. You know, I was into anime and writing. Like I was a writer when I was younger. I didn't. Me and my twin sister didn't do anything but watch anime, draw, play video games, and write all the time. Just write, type up stories.
Right. So you ain't watching pimps up hoes down to know what a pimp
No,
is, right?
I had no idea.
And they showed you dancing on the pole and stuff like that. And I actually thought at that time, well, was she a stripper at one point? Like I thought she was a stripper girl and all this other stuff because of the fact that you were with TKO.
No, I was not a stripper girl. I was a nerd. I was a nerd, and like I just liked having fun. I don't know how to explain it. I liked having fun. I was young, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go here and go here and go here and just have fun with everyone. I just liked having fun, and he liked that about me. He said that on his live. He liked that I knew how to have fun, and I was just had this personality. 1 second for me. 1 second.
All righty. So let's go. Let's get into that. So a lot has been unpacked here. Coach K, Nyla, any words? Well, that's part of the reason why I have you here, Coach K. I wanted you to hear some of the background story, hear the lead up, the follow through to Natureboy after that. And then that whole manipulation, he purposely lied to her to bring her back. So I want you to hear that, and then I want you to go into healing. So we're gonna go deeply, go into bringing you back and like the humiliation that he did for you, just to purposely like use you. So let's get into that real quick.
Okay. All right. So the PK happened, and I went back home. A lot of things happened when I went back home. A lot of back end things happened when I went back home. And let's see, how did I end up in the second time? I believe I went to Puerto Rico because me and Solar got back in contact with each other. Yep, we got in contact with each other because sometime before, I believe his and Zoka's baby passed away. And I guess we found comfort in talking to each other because I myself was going through a lot of traumatic stuff around that time as well. And when we got back in contact with each other, he and I were, falling back in love and all that jazz and wanting to be with each other. And I was just, I thought about going back to be with him, because I wanted to be with him at that time. This was around like, I would say 2 months after maybe his baby had died, a month or two after. I just wanted to be with him, just to know that he's loved and love each other through that traumatic time. So, but he wasn't telling me anything about it. Of course, he wasn't mentioning baby love or anything like that, but I just felt as if I wanted to be with him. But then Eligio placed Zoka and him back together, and out of nowhere. So I thought that maybe Eligio knew that he and I were talking, and he placed them back together just to talk with me or something like that. So he placed them back together, even though Zoka didn't want to, and you can clearly see that in the live video. She really didn't want to be with him. But you don't say no to the king. So basically, what happened after that is Eligio contacts me one day, because after that I wasn't really hearing from Solar like within some days because they're back together, right? So, I was just like, oh well, whatever. I expected that. Then Eligio contacts me and tells me that he had a dream about me and Solar being together, and at that time I believed him because that same night I had a dream with Solar. So it just freaked me out. And I thought, because he was like this mystic being, that he was able to tune in, and catch the frequency and, prophesize, So I believed him. And basically the next day we got onto the phone, and he told me that he wants me to come back to Puerto Rico, come to the tribe and be with him and be with Solar and be with Zoka at the same time. And I was just like, I don't know if so could like that. He was just like, yeah, he'll be all right with it, basically. So I was like, okay, sure. If that's the case, if she's willing to like do the polygamy thing with me again, like that'd be awesome. Like, let's do it.
So fast forward, you go there, and things are not what they seem.
No, not at all. So when I get there, he's telling me that no, like you're not gonna be with Solar.
And then he does a whole live.
Right. He does a whole live of exposing that I'm there. He was not supposed to expose that I was there until he did the Dr. Bishop episode. But since he wanted to tarnish everything right then and there and manipulate the situation to where he gets with me, he just does a live and exposes I'm here, humiliates me. The humiliation.
And let me tell you what in that humiliation video what he did.
Mhm.
He called out certain people names. We're not going to go to say their names. The people that were supposedly like coming to your rescue during the TK. Well, I guess they thought they were coming to your rescue, but you had chose to be there, and there was nothing really a big deal to rescue you from. But they came to come to your rescue in that situation, brought you around them, and then you go back there, and then the whole thing is to cut that tie with that other person.
Yeah, so that wasn't that video. It came later down the line. So what happened was he chose to humiliate me even further and make me expose secrets. So yeah, it was so I can cut ties with anybody that could had possibly have a chance of saving me or coming to get me. So yeah.
Yeah, and he did it all on live. So fast forward, then you become his wife.
How that happened is like he was just like every other moment he forces people to be his wife. Like it's like you're my wife now. You're my wife now. Deal with it. So basically, someone had asked on live if I was a wife now, and I didn't know how to answer that. So after like a few seconds of being silent, I looked at him, and he was like, sucking his thumb and basically saying, nodding and saying, yes, say that you're my wife now. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm his wife. So that's how I became a wife to him.
All right. Now I'm sure people know that the rest of the story as far as that's concerned, like when it comes to down to like being that you became his wife. What was the dynamic like of the women in the house when you finally went to Atlanta? What was the dynamic between you four as his wife
So when
in the final house?
I left Puerto Rico and went back to the tribe or the cult. Excuse me if I keep calling it tribe. I went back to the cult in Atlanta to ask to be with Solar again. I don't know what I was doing. I asked to be with them again. And the dynamic with the women, they were so kind. They were love bombing me, I would say. They were so kind and just so loving and wanted just giving me spiritual baths and just giving me clothes to wear, and they were just really nice at the time. I would say that we never had a problem, honestly. It was always a problem when Alehio would triangulate the women, so yeah.
So at some point that whole relationship became like a whole like shit show. That's all I could put it as. It became like, but they say that it was performance. Like, oh, he was put on a performance. He started becoming the three god. What made him turn into the three god? What was that metamorphosis like?
I literally just looked at the comments, and I want to address this real quick, if that's okay. No, I'm not still in love with Solar. I'm gonna say that right now. Someone said, told y'all she's still in love with Solar. Please cut the crap. Please cut the mess. I've moved on. I'm in love with someone else. I love you, baby. That's my husband. In my mind, in my mind, like I'm good where I'm at, and I want people to respect the relationship that I have. Solar is the father of my child, and that's it. I want to just say that for the record. Okay, thank you. Moving forward, though, so
Listen, anybody else that says some stuff like that is gonna get removed. So that's it.
please, I just respect me and my relationship. Respect that what I got going on. That I'm not posting publicly right now.
Well,
But
I was asking her questions about that. That's why she was answering the question, because this is not just about like the cult itself. This is about what like relationship. Because at the end, with when she finishes telling the story, we're gonna have her talk directly to Coach K and Nyla, and we're gonna like talk about healing from here on in. You know. So I did want to do that. I want to let y'all know this is not just about like just only the cult information. This is really a healing session. So
yeah, absolutely.
So let's get into okay. So then he becomes the three god. You guys begin putting on these performances. You're on Signetter. Y'all are dressing up. 333. Was this all like some kind of weird? I mean, it was weird. I'm like, it was the whole thing. The change from whatever y'all were doing before to this 333, and then him going. Do you think that all this was a performance because like there was like some TV notoriety that you guys were about to get, and so he was trying to put on a show for that to like create like a TV show, or was this really like how he was really acting?
He was acting like this off camera as well. He would have different personalities though. One moment he's three god, the next minute he's Eligio, the next minute he's Dr. Bishop, the next minute he's like this supernova Casanova guy, the next minute he's a jaguar, the next minute he's Batman. It was a lot of characters that he put on, but those characters were like personalities. I would say I wouldn't even call them characters. They're personalities, because he like Slick had a personality disorder or something.
Did you guys start taking more marijuana during that time? Because I noticed that when marijuana was more introduced, the more bizarre it became. Would you say that?
Yeah. Like, hold on one second.
Okay, let's get back to the coaches. Let's talk about that.
Damn, he sounded like Sybil.
Yeah, he was actually.
Yeah,
It was weird, you know.
yeah. That marijuana just allowed those personalities for to come forth. You know, that's what it was.
Yeah, I believe that weed a big part of showing split. Because I don't think he was dealing in Dallas weed. When he got to Atlanta, and I think they probably gave him like the top screen. He probably was getting like some regulos in Puerto Rico, but when he probably hit Atlanta, they probably had like that BMF grade, the Black Mafia family weed that probably was like the purple Kush. He was taking because he was connected, right? He started being connected with some people in Atlanta, and I believe that was the reason why it got so strange.
Uh-huh.
What would you say, Coach?
I'm just taking in a lot of the different details as I hear them, being revealed as she, tells more and more of her story. And today, I've just kind of read the healing part, because the reality is there's recognizable patterns here that she has been speaking on that have been a part of her life, beyond, like I said, carbonation. And, that's why I'm curious to know what she's doing now. And also curious to know, since she did mention that she is actually in a relationship,
Well,
how she's healing.
Yeah, let's get into the healing aspect now. Let's get into that now.
I just feel as if I said that I'm in a I would say I'm dating someone, but I'm like not publicly announcing it, like showing it right now and everything of that nature. I just wanted to keep it private, but I just cannot take when people are disrespecting it by saying I'm still in love with Solar. I'm not in that realm anymore. So I just want to let you know, just to the public, like, don't worry about that. I have my own thing going on, and I like where it's going, so even though if it's not, like official, or we're not together physically or anything like that, I feel as if whatever I have is a beautiful thing, and it's going to be protected by God. So that's why I was.
Absolutely. And like I said, I was saying that to say that I was interested to know exactly what you are doing within your healing state
Mhm,
as you have moved into a new relationship. Because
mhm,
from what I can tell, especially since you kind of have a new baby, it's pretty obvious that some of these ties that you've had are still recent ties. So there's probably still a lot of unaddressed trauma that surrounds these situations because it's still freshly new. Um, which is why I was curious to know what you're doing in regards to actual healing state.
mhm.
You know, what how are you actually doing the work to get yourself to a healthier place where you know that as you move into your future relationships, and as you're currently in one, and I get that you're saying that it's beautiful right now, and I'm happy for you, and I definitely hope it stays that way. But what
Yeah.
I do know is that when you have not completed your healing, and especially when we're dealing with matters of trauma and relationships and manipulation and things of that nature, a lot of things don't reveal themselves right away because 9 times out of 10, somewhere along the way, there's a repeated cycle that's going to happen, whether it's months down the road or a couple of years down the road, because we haven't resolved certain things. And because of that, we're still attracting certain type of people to us with certain type of natures. So that's why I was curious to know what you're actually doing to address your trauma, seeing as you have a new baby. There's certain things we don't want to repeat as you're raising this child, and you're moving forward. There's certain things you don't want to do no more because you're in a different place in life versus when you went into carbonation. So
I'm definitely not in the same cycle anymore. I've canceled out that cycle and it's completely done. I've been taking healing therapy sessions. I've been doing healing therapy sessions and for over a year now. Uh,
mhm,
I've been definitely taking my time to get to know myself, diving in what I love to do, getting to know me, focusing on my job, my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a lot of healing work that I've been doing. But therapy definitely has helped for the most part. And also just going ahead and just focus like getting out into society more, working a regular 9 to 5 has helped me, get myself sane again in some type of way, shape, or form. I don't know how to explain it, but it did. You know,
right, get a sense of
instead of
normality.
yeah, and doing the shadow work, I would say, like understanding those traumas and understanding what got me in relationships like that in the first place. So fixing those traumas within myself, fixing what those toxic patterns were, and developing new habits. You know,
Right,
I got into the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it talked about just disintegrating other old habits that no longer serve you, the old you, the habits that form the old you, and form little habits that shape you into the best you. So I've been just doing that little by little, just becoming a better person by forming new habits. And because I was able to become a beautiful, better version of myself, that I'm no longer the same Janae I was before. And I believe that wholeheartedly because I was able to, develop these new patterns and develop these new cycles of thought, you know,
hmm
thinking about doing things one way. Even having a baby sat me down instead of like going traveling over to you thought who knows where and getting myself mixed up into certain situations. I sat myself down and got to know Janae and what was wrong or not wrong with Janae, but just basically saying what could be better with Janae, because I had to take my time to understand why I did the certain things that put me into very bad situations. So because I was able to do those type of things, I was able to attract better people into my life. And because I was able to fix my energy, cleanse myself, do my spiritual baths, connect with God more, meditation, prayer. I'm in yoga school right now. I've been doing yoga. And I'm also in school for learning how to be a life coach. So
Here's a question: have you ever sat down with your father?
it's not like I could. He's living in another place, but I have called him. I had on my birthday. I definitely had a conversation with him. Um, he's the kind of person that just don't care. And I've tried to have healing conversations with him. My sister have sat down with him whenever and did a healing session. I just did my stuff on the phone, and he's just he would say he's sorry. He would say he's sorry because he didn't know how to be a father. He didn't know how to be a dad because he didn't have a dad, and he was just doing the best that he could and knew how to do. And that's when also my sister had told me that he took out anger on us by not being there for us. So I had like conversations with my dad with that was healing, and I definitely had conversations to address like, you know, I love you, so please don't forget my birthday. Like you're my dad. Even though you wasn't there the whole time, I just want you to know that I still love you, and all these things. So yeah, I have had conversations with my father. I just don't.
Coach K, I want to like. So wait, hold on. Here's a question: is your dad like involved with your baby now as a grandfather?
No, and I don't expect him to be.
Coach K, let's talk about the impact of a father and how like that could affect certain things with relationships.
Well, whether it's a male or a female child, the impact of both parents is equally important. But when it comes to a girl, because we set out to look for a man or a companion in the future, it is generally in the best interest to get those ideals from your father. Your father is generally the first man that's held you, that's fed you, that's protected you. Your father is generally the person that is there in a heavy capacity. But in our current society and culture, it has become very, very common to have one parent households. Um, and a lot of times those households are with single mothers. And the reality is that even in these single parent households with the mothers, they are not always conducive to the child, because a mother, depending on how healthy she is, may not be benefiting the children either, which is why it's important to have both. Now, when we're looking at it from a relationship standpoint, then yes, we want our fathers to be there for our daughters because it's important that they see that love. But more importantly, it is important that a child see their mother being loved.
Do you think that from a shadow work perspective, it would benefit her to really dive deep in some kind of way with her
Well, the reality
to
is,
heal that wound? Because I believe that there is a wound there, you know?
yeah, well, obviously, definitely, she's clearly, issues from what happened from her father being neglectful and not being there for her and her sister. So clearly, there's abandonment issues, and when we suffer abandonment issues in close relationships, we generally go through a grieving process as well. So now you're dealing with grief because it feels like the death of a relationship, the death of something that was supposed to be there that you turned out to never have. So there is going to be trauma from that. But what I can say is, based on what you have said to me, Miss Janae, it's obvious that, okay, you are doing your work. You are making the effort. You are going down the alley. You've reached out to your dad, like you said, which for anyone that really does the work, you understand that actually addressing the people that have offended you is a part of doing that work. So by her actually taking the time to actually go and speak with her father, or, whether it's over the phone or whatever, she took the time to try to hold that conversation. And her sister obviously has done the same thing. And the reality is he's still not there. And what we have to understand
Understand,
about
yeah.
what we have to understand about healing is that we are not always going to get the result we want at the end of that journey. And it's not about his apology. It's not about him stepping up and doing what she needs him to do. It's about her addressing it, saying how she felt, making it known where she stands. And from that point, creating whatever boundary she needs to protect herself, her emotions, and her children from repeating that same offense, which is why it is important not a bad idea that she doesn't care that he's not around for her child. Because the reality is, let me tell you something, you can't really miss what you never had. And it is better for that child to grow up loved and surrounded by the people that are there than to have to deal with the pain and anxiety of someone's absence that was never there. So I tell people all the time, we have to learn how to accept things in different stages in our healing. And everybody is not going to be there to give you closure. Everybody's not going to say what you want to hear. So sometimes we have to, as I said on, Nepal show last night, we have to let go and let God. You just have to understand that it is what it is. So everything ain't gonna come with a definitive answer to our issues and the things that burden us in heart, mind, and spirit. Some things we have to recognize that we have to overpower, redirect, reconstruct ourselves within, and re-identify those emotions to something else so that we can move forward and be able to release those past transgressions, even if we don't get the result we're looking for. So I would never tell any client to force themselves to try to recreate relationships that were already broken. You address them and you allow you give the person the opportunity to do the same. But clearly her father still has his own trauma, work, transgressions, and things that he needs to do because, as he already said, he didn't have a father and he didn't know how to be one. So clearly his life path has led him to a point where he's become complacent and okay with where he's at within his grief and his pain, because that's what that is. That is grief and that is pain.
Would you agree, Janae? Oh, I think she's dealing with. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think she was trying to breastfeed the baby or something.
Actually, I'm swinging her around. I absolutely, positively agree, and I'm glad that she's saying all that she's saying because that's why I went mute, because she does like to talk a lot. I definitely agree with what she's saying. Just because he's not in my life doesn't mean I'm not healing. That doesn't make sense to me to just think that way. I think that I did whatever I could, and to overextend myself, that would be a toxic trait.
Absolutely.
Oh no, and trust me, I'm not trying to dig into you. I'm just trying to do this for people that might watch this, that might have fathers that are the same way.
Absolutely.
To bring that subject matter up so people know how to deal it, because you're going to be a life coach, right? So
yeah,
you're here with another life coach, and I really encourage you. Like toward the end of this, I'm going to really introduce you to Coach K, because I believe that you could bring a lot to the table with what she's doing. I think Nyla was trying to say something. Go ahead, Nyla.
That classic, common cliche, but it is so truthful that when you start to develop self-love, you will find that a lot of relationships and things don't matter because that love is coming from the inside.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Coach K, I think it was a good point that you brought up about healing the root cause of why you behave the way you behave and accept things that are non-beneficial. Because you don't clear that up, you're gonna keep repeating that pattern.
Absolutely. It's a proven fact. There's statistics and data on it. This thing of mental health and self-care and self-love is a very big deal, and it's way bigger than just going to get your nails and your hair done or going to the spa and getting a massage. It's bigger than that, and I think a lot of people don't understand what it truly means to do self-care, self-love, self-respect, all these different things we're supposed to do for self. um, and it requires work in order to do that, because we live in a society that tells us to listen to what other people think of us all the time. We live in a world where we've probably been told our whole lives who we're supposed to be, especially by the people we're closest to, family members, from people that have toxic mothers to people that have absent fathers to people that grew up in foster homes. Everybody has this different type of stigma connected to the authorities or the adults who were around them at that time. And the moment that we decide that we're going to take real accountability for our own minds and our own thought processes. We begin to develop the confidence to actually shake off all the things that were said about us, all the things that we didn't think we could do. And that stuff comes with work, which, like I said, she's clearly doing it. When you're doing things like mantras, things that people think are so insignificant. You have no idea how far they go. Chanting mantras, everybody knows about prayer and connecting with your higher power, or going out into nature, finding different ways to do things that you've never done that helps you to grow. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are doing what's called insanity. Everybody want to do the same old thing over and over again, looking for a different result. You cannot keep going and doing the same thing with the same type of people and think you're going to live a different type of life. It just doesn't work like that. You have to do something different to get something you never had. And if you are looking for peace and happiness, if you are looking for love and you feel like it's something you never had, then you have to take a look at yourself before you look at anybody else. You have to take a look at yourself and decide, what is it that I or am not doing to and within myself that is causing me to be present in this type of lifestyle? How do I end up here? What brought me to this? And if that root source goes all the way back to your childhood, then we know where it stemmed. If it comes to a situation where maybe you experienced a sexual assault or something like that, maybe in college or from a friend, or who knows what the situation may be. At the end of the day, we have to take our own accountability for our healing. Yes, we are victims. Yes, we have things that are unfair that we probably never deserved and should never happen to us. Is such life, and where we can finally take back all of our power. We were children, there was no power. We were defenseless. We were dependent. We needed someone to do it for us. But now that we are adults, we're mothers, we're fathers, we're aunties, some of you may be grandparents. You have to come to a point where you decide when you are going to be a better you so you can be better for those around you. Because that's how we break the cycle of this situation, which is why I wanted to know what she was doing for healing, because I see she has this little baby here. So there's things we need to break before we pass them on down. There's things we got to stop doing now before we create an environment that forces our children to think that it's okay to live this same type of lifestyle. And then we wonder why they end up doing things like our cousins or like our uncles or like our sisters or brothers, whoever it is, that may not be healthy and conducive to, who are non-toxic people, who are toxic people that you bring your children around, and we call them family, we call them friends. You know what I'm saying? We have to do better about taking care of ourselves first, because if I'm not there, then my child can't be there either. If I don't have them in my home, if I don't entertain their information, then that's not the information I'm going to be sharing and passing on. I'm not going to allow my child to see me to get beat on or jumped on or any of those things, because I come from my own trauma background, as I was explaining on my show last night. So I understand a lot of different ways that this thing can play out. I come from a family that has different type of abuse backgrounds within it, so I understand how these things can happen. But what I also know is that if you do the work, if you take the time out to love yourself and do what you need to do for you, it makes it so much easier when you decide to love somebody else. Because if I know how to love me, then it's easy to know how to love you. But if I don't know how to love me, then I have no business loving on you.
Yes.
I should not be near nobody till I have completely healed from the trauma that I have suffered from. So I cannot stress that enough, especially to you, Miss Janae, since you're on the panel this evening and the focus is on you, to continue to do that work, to stay diligent, to make sure that you commit to you enough, no matter who you're dating or talking to and whatever little happiness they bring in you. Remember who you are. Remember everything you've already been through. Remember how you felt in all those moments, so that if they ever come up in the future, and I don't care if it's the smallest, littlest bit I don't care if it's something that seemed like it shouldn't be a big deal. It is one, because we're not going to give opportunities for even the smallest things to slip through the cracks and become big things later.
So so with that being said, you have a retreat coming up, a healing retreat
Yes,
in North Carolina, right where you're from.
yes.
You're becoming a life coach, Janae, and I really wanted to bring her on here. I just knew that she would be a blessing to you, just to be in connection with each other.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell what this event is about.
Well, this is the 2024 Women in the Wild post-trauma and healing camping retreat flyer, which I'm going to be doing at Coble's Landing in Polkton, North Carolina. For anybody that's from North Carolina, it's about 45 minutes outside of the Charlotte area. Basically, we're going to be doing everything from, talking about empowerment to um, martial, oh Lord, what's the word I'm looking for? Hand-to-hand combat with a martial arts teacher. We're going to be doing artistic expression with a painter that's going to come and show how to, use painting as healing therapy. We have a few different people that are going to be coming and speaking, just from everything on topics of empowerment to how to go through survival steps.
Yeah. At the time, I was very in tune with my intuition and very in tune with just hearing thoughts around that time, because like
I'm
I
just
said, I was
trying to get
traveling
my
everywhere in nature, and
a
also I
little
would
surprise
meditate
self
and
kids
pray all the time.
absolutely
I would
want
meditate in the
credit
forest in the
for
middle of a river
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
a rock for hours. I was very in tune. So
Everybody
when
walking
that moment
in.
happened,
It's just
when
things
me
gonna
and
look at. I'm just trying
Lehio
to get
and
my a nice little still picture.
Doka and Solar had that meeting and
God
and
dang it.
felt
No, not that one.
it at the time because
Nope.
Velvet was there.
Yep, that one right there. Right there, right there, right there, right there. Now I want y'all to hear me. 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 Hey, Fool, what's up, sis? Oh, Fool, I found out what happened the other day. I forgot about shit, but that's okay because I got my girl doing her interview. I got her tearing Nature Boy ass up. It's all good in the neighborhood. It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. But I still got my girl tearing Nature Nut ass up. But I forgot about certain things. But I think I got enough of it, right? Oh, I think I got the whole thing. I think I caught the whole thing. We see
It
what
was
numbers.
good.
Oh, we good, we good, we good, we good. But she tore his ass up. They talk, oh, she disrespectful. She said, but that's because you're lying, sir. You're lying because you're lying. I said, but we got it. And I did a whole entire thing of what have we learned from Nature Nut. I didn't know that one little video was going to cost so much, but I didn't get it from that person. But it was all good. It was all good. We seen it here. We seen it here. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I had to take it down. But we seen it before I took it down. So it's all good. We enjoyed it. Woo, 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 woo. Right? All this internet scamming irks my soul. Life coach, when? I don't know. That's why I skipped past that. I think the other lady she has on there, she is a life coach. I don't know. I don't know. Now, that's why I didn't even watch no more of that part. But we will be coming back in about an hour or so. Uh Lakeisha, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. You've been hearing more than me. Let's go. You've been hearing more than me. I'm about to catch this on the replay, my damn self.
You said I gotta catch this. I figured because I would be talking and then there'd be dead air. I'll be like, okay, she must have stepped away for a second.
No, I didn't step away. It's just that around this time, I'm really busy because the summer's coming up. Then it was some bullshit. So the phone just be ringing and ringing. That's why I got you guys, right? So remember, I like for my reactions to I like for my reactions to be authentic. So a lot of times I just skim through a little bit of it to make sure there's no music. And sometimes that still don't work because there still be music on it. But I like for it to be authentic, right? I don't like to see it. I like to be authentic. Now, sometimes if I seen something already, then it's not a reaction, but my reactions is always authentic. So we watching the same things together. But now that you have seen it, which I have to do the replay, go ahead, sis. Commentate it up.
Sorry. Yeah, I think that it's great that she is in therapy and that she is, having a normalized life now. Like she said, just having a average 9 to 5, is giving her more momentum, to be productive in her life and stuff like that. Because I'm sure, just being in the house all the time and being oppressed and stuff like that, like when you're able to just do you, it's a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm. And what else did you get out of this?
I also feel that what the lady was saying, as far as like getting the help that you need and the support system and stuff like that, and loving and pouring into you. And it's not just about getting your hair and nails done and stuff like that. It's really tuning into your inner self. But I do
Mm.
also feel like that other stuff is a part of self-care and self-love as well, because some people um don't have that, like they may just walk around looking any kind of way or whatever, and sometimes that can affect your self-esteem and stuff like that.
But sometimes too, hair, nails, the nails that that's like uh that's an exterior, right? Because some people look good every day. That's their job to look good and still feel bad, right? So
Yes,
that's
and still hurting inside.
right. So that's and sometimes looking at yourself and loving yourself, then adding them things in, right? So then it's not the hair that makes me. So I can go out with it, go out without it. But this is
Yeah.
this working on the interior, right? Where that don't really matter. Like some people can't leave the house because that's what makes them, right? I think when you have suffered so much, that don't mean nothing. Yeah, it looks good, it makes you, but it doesn't make you feel good, right? Because now you have to have it,
No,
right? 'Cause
no, even dressing up and stuff like that. And when you're being traumatized, none of that matters. You can have on the freshest gear, but you can inwardly, you can really be hurting inside.
right, because how people say, "Oh my God, you're beautiful," having hearing that all day, that defeats the purpose of you feeling that because you have to hear that. Now, would you hear that same thing if you wasn't like dressed to the T or dressed to the nines or looking beautiful? Then that means you wouldn't hear it. So that means you still not her in particular. I'm just speaking in general. That means you're still seeking validation. That
Yes,
means you
instead
still
of giving yourself validation, instead of
right.
validating yourself.
Right. So nobody didn't say nothing when you feel. I mean, when you went through so much trauma, right? That's a lot of. I mean, that's a lot of healing. That's. I mean, that's so much healing, right? But it's just still. It's still the word you're still seeking, right? I need for somebody to say, "Oh, you are beautiful," or "Oh, you're this," or "Oh, you're that." Now, let's say you didn't go out with none of that, and you didn't hear none of that. How? The question is, how would you feel? Now you can say, "Oh, my natural feeling beautiful," then wear it all the time,
Right.
right? Well, I think people should be on the inside more, right? I wouldn't even be outside, but again, this is how they chose. For a lot of people, choose to live their life on the on the thing. But we got to remember too, this is a lot of their job. We keep thinking it's not a job. This is a job. Some people get paid barely
Yeah,
nothing.
it
Some
is.
people get nothing. But that's if you bring in content. That's if you bring in content. So just gotta be like really careful with that. I'm not like I said, I'm not speaking upon her. I'm just speaking just like in general. I never try to speak on the person unless I'm doing commentary on what they said. I'm not doing that. So we always got to bring it around to speaking in general because we never know who may be listening. So I don't like to stay stuck on the
Yes,
person.
true.
So being a life coach doesn't take at least 2 years. I have no idea. Please don't ask me, Miss Yogi, because life coach, like just being just a life coach, right? It can also that comes from wisdom, understanding, wisdom from it's three of them. From wisdom, understanding, and one more I'm missing.
Knowledge.
Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Thank you.
Mhm.
So that will qualify you to be a life coach. Like even us as parents, right? We didn't start off knowing, but as we grew into knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, we became very good life coaches.
You can be an
Became
expert at almost anything. You can be a coach at
hmm
almost anything if you study and learn enough, and just living life gives you the experience.
and then a life coach, you got to remember too, it can't start and begin with one person because your skills and my skill life means everything in totality. Not one person can give you all of that. Not one person can give you a. Some people think they can, but no, because sometimes the way they say it, they could be all right. But somebody else could say the same exact words, but the way they say it, you learn something from the way their tone is, the way they say it. Like this person said it aggressive, so you got it in an aggressive type of way. This person said it in a regular type of way, so you got it in a loving type of way. See, so one person, and then some people may, have depending on your age when you was born, what you have been through or what you've seen others have been through. Life is just so tricky. So life coaches to me is tricky. I would
Yes.
prefer to have a bunch of different people that like
Had
what you
knowledge in
call it, and
different
some of
fields.
every right,
Hmm.
right. Because some things, some people just like when you go to the hospital, that one doctor, like you can go to your general doctor, he doesn't complete everything, right? If your heart hurt, you got to go to a heart specialist. If your leg hurt, like that. But just going to that one doctor who went to the same amount of school, but he didn't certain things he just don't have. This other doctor has it, and it's okay. It's like lawyers, all
It's the
different
same
type
with
of
nurses
lawyers.
too, right?
Hmm.
I said it's the same thing with nurses too, right? Because there's different levels of nursing.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes. So when we say like some people like to stay stuck with one person, I just think no, just find anything and everything that will help you. Will help you. Even if you become a teacher, like you should be like with a class of teachers, right? So that's why they have different classes, right? But people do things right. Her mama a life coach. That's all I need to know about her life coach. But she wasn't even really around her mama. But a lot of people is effed up, right? A lot of people is effed up. And it's not near one of us is not or have not been there, done that, or we're not human, right? We're not human. All of us done been through some we done got been through some shit, right? So I like to try to build people up with it than tear them down. Unless you like you scamming or something like that, then we got a problem. Right. But as far as what people go through in their life, it ain't like we ain't seen Janae before. It ain't like we ain't seen the Velvet before. It ain't like long as we've been living, we ain't seen nobody that was like them ever. Then you can't be a life coach. Then you can't even talk to me. If you ain't see other girls like that, when we look out our window, we
Right.
seen them
You
hundreds
gotta
of
have knowledge in the field that you're talking about. You can't just be trying to be a life coach and be willy nilly and out here.
okay. Booski says legally you don't need anything to call yourself a life coach. But then damn it, we all life coaches, being that you said we went from we the sweet life coach,
Yeah.
we the sweet daddy life coach, we the sweet mama life coach. We're gonna change. We the sweet daddy, sweet mama life coach. Listen, we're gonna be on doing different things all day. You better get ready. Booski, I gotta hit you up. Booski, I got to hit you up. Girl, I got to hit
Say
you
something about the
up. Hit you
school.
up, Booski. Got to hit you up, Booski. Hit you up,
I'm
boo
about to
boo.
call you St. Hudson, and I'm ready. I'm just out here
No,
grinding.
you're not until after I get my phone call. Then you can do whatever you got. I said it first.
Oh, I didn't even hear you telling you she was gonna call me.
I
Well,
hopefully
tell her
y'all
to
too.
call me when y'all get off the phone. How about
Hopefully y'all make a difference. My goal is for y'all to make a difference and make sure y'all. I want my discounts. My audience want their discounts, and
yes.
I made it. I don't really want. I just throw me something a little here and there. But y'all, I want y'all to really. But you gonna have to send me the video. I'll wait. Then after a
I
while,
have
I ain't gonna wait. After a while, I'm not gonna wait no more.
I know, and I already told my son. I said I got to make sure I get all my stuff. Sugar ain't too time to be waiting around.
I don't have the patience. No, but just show me a couple of things, just so I can show people. You don't
I
need to
will.
show
You know, it's the
everything.
cat
It could
baby.
be.
I gotta think everything got to be perfect.
It gotta be meticulous.
Oh my gosh, it drives me
Or no, but
crazy.
send it. But just send it to me. I
I
ain't gonna
will.
show it to everybody.
I will. And then
And,
whatever I send you,
and
if I
no,
need pointers, you can just give me
it could
pointers.
be pictures of things you have done before. That's
Oh
still
yeah,
your work.
right.
Because I can start telling you what I want. I can give you
Okay. All
because
right.
I need some good going out clothes. I'm trying to get us a popper of this thing.
Okay.
But guys, I thank my queens for being in the panel. I thank my queens for being in the chat. I'm sorry, I don't want it's gonna be on later. I thank my Pooh Bear, the King. Thank you, Food. Thank you, Black Athena. I can't thank everybody, but I thank all of y'all. I thank my replay gang. There is no show without my replay gang. Don't forget my replay gang. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, but definitely leave a comment down below. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. But y'all know how we're going to leave this. Oh, and like I said, the credit from this, the animation comes from Bonnie. Hopefully I said her name from Bonnie, which we're going to be doing more of her. Please check her out. And the credit from this video comes from Alchemizing Energy. And we thank her for letting us use the video. I thought my mother sells Element products. That's what's on her IG. Yeah, y'all crazy. Let's leave out on a happy note because we coming right back in an hour. Right? It's been on and popping on these YouTube streets, and we gonna be on and popping on these YouTube streets.
Go get y'all some snacks. Sugar, you got your ginger ale?
No, I don't have no ginger ale. I had ginger ale 2 days ago. Jackie sent me some.
Oh.
But that's gone. It's gone. The doggone ginger ale is gone because it be too popping. I be just sipping like a crackhead, a ginger head. Right. I had to switch that real quick, right? But this tissue is for like anybody who's in the crybaby nation. Who he's not brother, he don't deserve it. Oh, I know I like to end up on that.
Don't deserve.
Baby, I don't deserve. Yeah, you do deserve. Let's go. Oh, wait. Keep moving onward and upward. And Miss Pinky, thank you for always supporting. I'm gonna get some ginger ale. I forgot you have donated yesterday, and I forgot to tell you, Miss Pinky, you're a beautiful person. Now we'll run out and get my ginger ale. And Lakeisha, thank you too for always supporting the channel.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be, living in a time where disease is on every screen, I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering, negativity is a plague for the mentally weak, no mercy,
no mercy.
All God is working. Never stop searching. Never quite so thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic. With this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Built to last with the webs I'm weaving. I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas. Don't never stop competing.
Hey, hey, hey,
got me going on
hey,
this topic.
hey,
You know
hey.
I'm always honest. Stay away from those who are toxic. Keep them out your face, no way, you don't want them, yeah. Don't try to drain my energy. The enemy is everything. It's mentally, unhealthily, spreading like a rare disease. But I won't let it get to me. I don't need your therapy.